sit in a room and have a few beers. That's the suggestion from who else but Shane Warne on how the Australian team should have handled their homework crisis. Warne writes, and I quote, "As a leader, I always thought if the boys weren't getting along or weren't performing, the best thing to do was to lock everyone into a room with some music and alcohol and then have everyone speak to each other. Old school ways can still work well," unquote. Sitting in a room and solving a crisis over a few beers. Where have I heard that before? NDTV's Professor Deano narrates a similar story from way back in 1988 when a team meeting over drinks helped them bounce back from a hopeless situation.
Well, the line in the sand first happened in 1988 against the West Indies at the MCG. The Australians were battered and smashed up by the great fast bowlers, and we had to actually do something and find a solution. This team was going awful. We had to walk from the MCG across to the Hilton, and we sat in a room and we had a couple of beers and we actually started to say some ugly things amongst us, some finger pointing. It was very, very aggressive, confrontational times. And then after a couple of hours and a couple of beers, we actually started to work out some plans. Bob Simpson, the coach, wrote a mission statement. We'll train better. We want our fast bowlers to bowl quicker. We'll treat the press better. We'll treat the media better. We'll actually look after our fans. We actually got to love and respect each other a lot more. Microphones and headphones and Walkmans and iPods were banned. Everybody had to know more about each other than the opposition. It was fantastic. And the reason why it's fantastic, in 3 days later, we played against the West Indies and we won that match. And then we toured England 2 months later. We smashed England. We beat them 4-0. You see, it's all about guys getting together and being honest with each other, playing for each other and doing the right things by each other. And if you can do that, you can move mountains. It's not the first time it's happened for the Australian team, but if they get together and communicate, anything can happen.